Screen. Oh no! We have a problem. And the crash that we had hoped would not happen. And look at the mess right here at the start-finish line. Too numerous to count. I mean, there's just nowhere. Right there is where the trouble's going to start. He makes contact with Robbie Gordon. He goes down, hits, I guess that's the seven of Michael Waltrip, and then, look, there's just no place to go as those guys come across the racetrack. As the smoke goes up, there's nowhere to go except in the side of another car. And from another angle, watch the contact between the tied car and the one running right beside it. Right there. And the 40 car of Sterling Marlin goes in the back of Robbie Gordon, which turns him around. But Marlin, although he may have gotten some damage in the front end, was able to get through it. And look at that debris up there in front of these cars.
Cannot believe that Toyota.
Contact! Bobby Labonte's over. It's the big wreck on the final lap. They're racing back for the win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart are side by side. This is for the victory as Jeff Burton gets in the middle of it. At least 10 cars involved in the wreck on the backstretch.
55 car trying to get on the outside of Bobby Labonte. Labonte comes back down the hill, and now all of a sudden they're 4 wide. And Hamilton gets in the left rear of Bobby Labonte's car, and we see the car start tumbling down the backstretch.
And there's not a whole lot you can do. When you're behind that, all you see is smoke and cars go sideways. You just try to hold the steering wheel straight and get through it somehow.
Rode the roof the whole way. Never flipped over. Just on the roof, and that's how it rode the whole way down the backstretch. Hard crash for Benson there. Mike Wallace. There's Rusty Wallace in the grass.
Everything's going fine. You think you're in the right place, doing a good job. All of a sudden, a bunch of cars go by you on the outside. And you're still wide open. Say, roll, what?
Whoa, trouble.
Boy,
the 2-car upside down, over and on to Scott Riggs. It's the big one.
Oh, boy, who is that still flipping?
Sauter. It was Johnny Sauter.
There's not anybody left.
I mean, I only see about 4 or 5 cars that are coming around through 3 and 4 right now that were not in this race. They see Mike McLaughlin in 18. They're still getting upside down. Cars driving under cars. There has to be 25 cars over there.
Oh, Meal got into Riggs.
It looked like Riggs had to maybe back out of the throttle a little bit because Kenny Wallace's car washed up as they come off the exit of turn 2 right there, the 48 car. Right here, this is turn 2. Kenny Wallace, the 48 car right there.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like Shane Meal possibly just got into the back of the 10 car.
The 47 car, yeah.
Yeah, got into Riggs. Look at that 2 flipping. Looks like Rusty Wallace's flip in the number 2 Winston Cup car here not many years ago.
And when they hit the grass, it even tumbled more. There's Randy LaJoy. Greg Biffle.
Oh, Biffle.
There's Jay Sauter. Kerry Earnhardt.
There's everybody. Jack
Sprague, our point leader.
Terrible crash.
Hey, okay, man, can you hear us?
Okay, guys, back it down. We're not racing. Caution's out. He comes down trying to get in front of Kurt Busch. They make contact. Watch that thing fall. You know, it lands on that road you talked about.
And then when it gets onto the racetrack again, takes another nasty flip. Watch this hit.
That's a hard one right here.
Oh, man.
They all look pretty hard. Yeah, they do. I don't want to be in there in any of them.
Man. Like I said, that car really held up well. Above. Man, there's been a lot of cars getting on their roof lately.
And I think I said earlier on that the fans loved it and the TV audience, but 43 drivers were not
don't like it.
too happy.
The window net did come down on Scott Rick's car, which is a great sign.
By the 12.
Ryan Newman in the 12. Rigs hard into the wall.
And it gets worse.
Yes.
There you see the 41 car, the 12 lines up. We talked about this bump drafting thing. He wasn't lined up straight when he hit the 41 car. The 41 car was just a little bit to his left. You got to give him a straight shot. And this was coming through the tri-oval, which is another problem.
And the 16 car, another Nextel Cup point contender, involved in the crash.
As was Rusty Wallace in the 2.
Mark Martin.
Yeah.
And that 6 car. Oh, there we go.
Casey Mears, McMurray, and from a huge pack.
No, that's Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon is in it. Martin Truex Jr. in the 1. Gordon just got hit again.
Oh, man.
You got real hard, buddy. I didn't see it.
Looks like there's Boyer. Oh, that started way up high. Who was that way up high?
Is that Carl in 99?
Looks like it. Have to get another look.
That started from way up on the outside of the wall.
Looked like Harvick. Was Harvick right in front of that?
See if we can get a. Well, it's going to be tough to see from that shot, too.
Now Harvick goes high and just gets tagged by Gordon.
Completely dedicated to restrictor plate racing. Less than a dozen people. Oh, and we've got trouble on the track, and it's Kyle Busch upside down.
Big time crash. Kyle Busch goes upside down and rolls down across on his roof here on lap 26. Cars comes back over, and now side over side barrel rolls.
He moved to the outside to go around Casey Mears. It looked like Tony was going to go out there to help him, and it could have possibly been a little bit of contact. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be, because you can get yourself out there, and all of a sudden the air's changing, and just a horrific wreck. But once again, Kyle Busch gets out and walks away.
We sure did a lot of damage. It looked to me like right here, as we watch this, it looked like that maybe they all started stacking up. It's hard to say that, you know, Tony Stewart wasn't getting some help from behind, or maybe even further back than right behind him. Like they're all just kind of stacking up.
Yeah. Yeah, when that happens, usually because everything changes, the air changes, and what you've been doing right there, you might have been wide open at that time, and then all of a sudden things.
7 car, Stephen Wallace in the 66, and David Stremme in another car owned by Rusty. Oh, we got a spin. It's a tap from Wallace.
Right behind you.
Oh, the big one in turn 1, heavy contact, cars in the wall. Stephen Wallace heavily damaged. There comes Kyle Krisiloff down. David Rudiman involved. Oh, heavy damage on Stephen Wallace's Chevy. He was having such a great run.
He was going below David Rudiman right here, but they ran up on a slower car. Wow.
Right.
Man.
That's Kevin LePage's 61 that Carl Edwards went up across the back of. And then it all broke loose behind him. Cars slipping and sliding. Kelly Byers involved. Brad Keselowski, watch again.
Oh, you see what happened here. This 61 was not up to speed, and it's almost like, you know, these guys moved over and didn't see him.
Had no idea that he was coming out. You know, they did. I'm sure that the spotters up there saw him on the apron. They weren't expecting him to come and join.
Can Keselowski try to win it?
I don't know. I don't think he can step out until he waits till the last second and picks up.
He goes to the outside as Edwards goes. Oh, no, he turns him. No.
Oh, and that destroyed the front end of Newman's car. No. Edwards will not make it to the flag.
Oh, Brad Keselowski won this race.
Him a little bit. Now he's going to come down to try to block him again, and you get one shot at it, but you don't get two. Watch this.
What a lick. Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
You know, and looking very carefully at the catch fencing that held, and I did not see any debris go into the grandstand. And that certainly is
unbelievable.
Is very gratifying to see. Well,
in the middle. Here comes Keselowski. Got trouble now. Keselowski's got on the hard side. Look out, they're going to go around.
Behind.
Oh, big crash. Oh, and up into the wall. Look out. The caution is out. The race will finish. And it looks like Brad Keselowski is going to get the race win.
Bring it here. Bring it here.
Behind Harvick, just not enough room. Yeah, and he had to check up for just a second because he was on the right rear quarter of Kevin Harvick.
And then once he goes around, the chaos.
Wow.
Look at Setzer. Wow.
Good to see him get out of that car, but that catch fence does its job.
Well, and remember, they raised the catch fence after last year's race here. Also stretched it out over the racetrack. You're right. It did its job. Another view.
See right there, Jamie Murray just trying to get in. He was going to try to get there and push Kevin Harvick. Just got to remember, they're coming to the checker flag, so they're not going to let off.